Verse 14, Paul says, if I pray in a tongue, my spirit prays, but my mind is unproductive. So this is very interesting here. Now, I mentioned it a minute ago. This is the sticking point for a lot of Christians. This is what makes a lot of Christians very suspicious about the gift of tongues. It makes them fearful, maybe even afraid of the gift of tongues. It's not anything they want to do with, because of that, the aspect of it that their mind does not know what is happening. Paul says it right here. Paul is admitting that this is the case. When you are speaking in tongues, your mind has no idea what you're saying. And so for a lot of people, that's just weird. Makes them uncomfortable, because a lot of people really want to figure it all out. They don't want there to be any kind of mystery to anything that they practice in their faith. Um, and uh, and so that's why a lot of people, I believe a lot of people are afraid of this gift. I believe that's why a lot of people that's where cessationism comes from, is that people are very fearful of the mystery of some of this, of all of the gifts, the supernatural aspect of following God. For me, I don't mind the mystery at all. In fact, I love it. I would not want to have a God who is small enough for me to figure out with my own stupid human brain. So that means that God, I mean, I wouldn't even worship a God like that, right? God is so much bigger than us. We cannot understand him. His ways are higher than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. So that means there's a lot of mystery, a lot of things that we just can't fathom with our own stupid human minds. And to me, I love that. I embrace that about God. So the fact that, there's a lot of mystery behind this gift of speaking in tongues, it does not bother me at all. And I think that one of the reasons why people are so bothered by this, well, first of all, we are made in the image of God. So God, the Trinity, we believe in the Trinity as Christians. So that's God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, 3 different aspects, one God. And it is a great mystery right there, even though we believe it, even though people who, are uncomfortable with mysteries say that they believe that as a Christian, that these are, God, Jesus, Holy Spirit. How in the world could that be true? How could Jesus have died on the cross and God have, how? We have no idea how that could be true. It is a great mystery. So we are similar in the fact that we are triune beings. Now, I don't mean we are gods, absolutely not, but God made us in his image. And one of the ways we are in his image is that we have several different parts of us as well. And it is all wrapped up into one being. So we have our physical body. Okay, that is the part of us that is temporary, that is wasting away, that someday is going to die and return to dust. We have our consciousness, so that's our thoughts, our emotions. Okay, that's another part of us. And then we have our souls. And our souls are the eternal part of us that are going to last forever. They are never going to end. And so I think for people in our culture, in this postmodern Western culture, there really is this great disconnect between our minds, our thoughts, and our soul, the eternal part of us, because our Western culture is very, very fixated, very, very obsessed with the physical, everything physical. And so they have a lot of people in our culture have trouble believing in anything supernatural. Think about it. There are a lot of people running around today who have no idea that they even have a soul. They think when they die, it just ends. Now, hopefully, if you're a Christian, you at least believe that you have a soul, because it's a very important part of our belief system as Christians. But even so, because of our Western culture, it has seeped into our thinking. I mean, we're surrounded by it. It's all that we know. And so a lot of Christians are very stuck in the physical, very stuck in the physical. And so they are very suspicious and fearful of anything supernatural, even though we have a lot of biblical foundation, a lot of biblical support for believing in the supernatural. And these things really are real and can come from God. Okay. So anyway, so the whole point is this disconnect between our minds and our souls. And so that is why a lot of people would be very, very worried about the fact that Paul says, if you pray in a tongue, your spirit prays, but your mind is unproductive. But Paul says it right here. So let's see, what is Paul's response about that? He's admitting it right here. My mind is unproductive. So what does Paul say? Does he say, well, we can't do it then. Unless my mind is involved, we can't do this thing talking in tongues. It's too risky. So and here's what he says. Verse 15. What is the outcome then? I will pray with the spirit, but I will pray with the mind also. I will sing with the spirit, but I will sing with the mind also. So here is Paul's response. He doesn't seem to be bothered at all by the fact that our minds are unproductive when we speak in tongues. He says, no, let's cover it all. I'm not going to just pray in tongues. I'm going to pray in my language as well. I'm going to do both. And that is what I do. I don't just pray in tongues. I also pray in English. So I think this is a very balanced response to this thing about speaking in tongues, that your mind is not productive. So I think that this verse 15 should be very comforting to anyone who has a fearfulness of this gift of speaking in tongues because it's not using your mind. So anyway, verse 15, 1 Corinthians 14, I think it is a very comforting verse for anybody that struggles with that.